Hello and welcome to another Monday Night live stream. I hope you all are having a great day. Looks like the chat's pretty full, so let's get started. Grish is here. Eric's here. Grish is interested in the Ecoflow saga. That's one thing we will discuss tonight. Joe is back. Joe missed last week. And Jeremy's here. Jeremy, glad to see you. Everyone's saying hello to each other. David is here. Welcome in, David. Toro, welcome back. All right, looks like that's everyone in the chat so far. So I did want to discuss a couple things. I do think tonight might be shorter. I am starting to develop some sort of a sore throat. So we'll see how long we'll see how long this goes. And I apologize now for any coughs because I have been coughing a lot recently. Nils was in here. Welcome in, Nils. So yeah, so most of you were here last week. If you weren't, hopefully you watched the video on demand and you've seen that I have an Ecoflow River 2 Pro. Our testing last week worked out pretty well. And you didn't know this until now, but we're actually running right now on the Eco 2. This whole streaming setup is plugged into the Eco 2. It is not plugged into the wall. And I don't have a good way to show you my phone, but currently, let me hide my notifications. Come on. So right now I have the Ecoflow app running, and we have 2 hours and 43 minutes left to go on the power. I'm consuming 185 watts, and that's with a whole fly pack, my laptop, Stream Deck, monitor in front of me, camera, giant light over there. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, we're running pretty good. We've been on this for, I would say about 2 hours, or about 20 minutes. So let me show you some pictures, because visuals help. So this is what it was before I unplugged the power from the wall. And welcome in, Jason's lab. And so like I said, this is before I unplugged the power from the wall. And then this is what it was like when I unplugged the power, and you can see like 188 watts. This was taken about 20 minutes ago. I will tell you right now, the one thing that scares the crap out of me on this app is the little button right there, that I could hit that button and turn off all the AC outlets, obviously killing the entire stream. So, I guess pros and cons for having that as a button. But, yeah. So we're 82%. Like I said, 2 hours and 43 minutes. The output is updating in real time. So that is pretty cool. I do believe there's an automation category as part of this thing. I haven't played with that to figure out what automation I can make. I do need to make sure I register my device so I can get the 5-year warranty, which is why that's sitting right here to remind me to do that. Chris says, that button should have confirmation. It may. I've never pushed it because I'm afraid to push it, especially right now. I will tell you right now, on the DC side, there's no confirmation. I can turn it on, I can turn it off without, I can just push it and it works. So I'm guessing there's no confirmation, which is very scary. So yeah. Definitely going to be, and I am curious, before I go any further, I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi off and my Bluetooth off. So now I'm only on I'm only on 5G. And it looks like I'm still getting real-time updates. So the updates are available even if I'm not home. I can see them. So that's pretty cool. I really like that, that it's updating the cloud real time. Now I did put this on my IoT network. So this is on an internet-only VLAN. So there's no, I'm not worried about security because it's going out the internet pipe and not touching the rest of my network. Bob Carpenter's in. Welcome, everybody's here tonight. Yeah, no, it doesn't. I don't think it has a confirmation button. The title does say we'll do it live, but I don't know if I want to go that route. Maybe we'll do it at the end. I mean, we'll see as a way to end the stream. If I push the button and we go dark, then that'll explain everything. Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, I could suggest that as a update for sure. If you haven't seen, Jason's been doing a lot of fiber videos, so I definitely don't need fiber. I do have fiber. I have about a 10 to 15 foot strand of, I think it's 48. Yeah, Krish, where were you all last week? I did hear from everybody last week, so I mean, they were all busy. It's okay. Yeah, I know Bob confirms. Nope, no confirmation. That's a little scary. That's a little scary. So, I did want to update you guys on the Ecoflow status and let you know that, so far, it's running this beautifully, and the app's very impressive, very easy to use. Oh, I'm down to 80%. So, just goes to tell you how fast or how slow this little setup works. Now, this isn't powering the internet. This is just powering my streaming setup. The internet obviously is in my tech wall, and that's a whole different circuit. I was going to try to test that, but I figured this was a good enough kind of test to start off with. We'll probably do more testing with it as time goes on. Yeah, I mean, the Windows machine is Linux, or sorry, the Windows machine is a laptop, and so that's not a problem. But the Raspberry Pi is running Linux, but I kill the power all the time to that, and it's still running. So, did you install the firmware update that allows you to have AC on? I didn't know there was a firmware update. I don't see any firmware updates available for this thing. Do you have to have Bluetooth on or Wi-Fi, or how do you? Does it just prompt you for the update? Bob, I'm really curious. Oh. So this was a thing, and I'm glad I just kind of discovered this because I was going to do this as a test. So there is a car charger that came with this, and I was curious how you would use a car charger and how you would regulate the draw so you didn't like blow a fuse. Well, in here it says AC charge speed and car input, and then it says DC mode, auto, solar, or car. So I think you can plug this in, set it for car charging, and then you can choose your input of 4, 6, or 8 amps. So that'd be pretty cool, because one of the thought processes I had was, how to charge this thing if the power does go out for any length of time. My neighbor has a generator that I might be able to plug into. Um, a lot of vehicles at work have inverters in them or way to generate power. My car has an inverter in it, although not very powerful. But my car obviously has DC as well, so now there's a way to just go in here and charge this off of DC. So my thought was I could literally take this thing outside, plug it in the car, charge it, come back, in theory, run the sump pump for like 10 seconds, take it back out, and charge it back up again. I mean, it would obviously not be fun, but it would be something that, in theory, could work in a pinch. You can also turn off X Boost, which is that. So it goes up to 1600 watts, but its typical is only 800. So that X Boost is what goes up. But the problem with X Boost is it lowers the voltage. So you can turn X Boost off. You can change the timeout. Okay, so there is, I don't know if this is what you're talking about, Bob, but there is a AC timeout menu, and you can turn AC timeout to never, which means AC output will always be on. At least that's the way I read this menu. Oh, there is a firmware update option, and it says up to date. Oh, here we go. So under lab features, there's AC always on. Right now it's set to off. AC output will be turned on by default each time the device is powered on. So I'm going to turn that to on. So there. Now the AC is on always. That's what it says. It is a lab feature, so it's not, I guess, a beta feature, lab feature. Interesting. There's also a backup reserve, which allows you to increasing the backup reserve provides more power, but obviously could create some issues. And so yeah, I did want to just kind of go over the app with you guys tonight. Some things that I had seen, some things I didn't see. But yeah, so Nils says, "Don't turn off the internet. We're still using that." Yeah. I think it was Aaron Parecki killed the power the one time to a stream. He didn't realize the internet was plugged into the one outlet, or wasn't plugged into the outlet, or however that worked. So yes, it has car input mode, which is great. Yeah, you want to charge up the car at the lake or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know if you watched last week's stream. My plan is to next to the sump pump put a second outlet that is fed from an input on the outside of the house, so that I'm not running extension cords through the house and whatnot. And in essence, then I could make a cable or have a cable ready to go that, if the neighbor next door has a generator fired up, could go outside, plug into my house, plug into his generator. I could bring my car over, plug in the inverter, do lots of things to help, provide power. And worst case scenario, somebody would have to, plug in, or come down here and move the cable from the normal plug and plug it into the, backup power one. They wouldn't be tied together, so there'd be no way to cross feed. But it would be a lot easier than trying to run cables in a hurry, especially if it's like wintertime or whatever it is. And it would be something that Haley could do if I'm not home. So I do have some more work to do. I'm not there just yet. But yeah, I would use the app. I know. I think you said you had one or two of these, or was it Bob that had two of them? I forget which one of you said you had two of them. Yeah, backup reserve probably limits battery life. Yeah, did you unplug the internet? Well, CrowdStrike did the other day for almost, for some people. Oh, Joe did watch the entire stream. Thank you very much. Oh, I never did an update. um, so we're currently sitting at 1,636 subscribers. Last week's video has 159 views, 13 likes, and 4 comments. And the bigger, more important number is watch hours. We are currently sitting at 2,942 public watch hours. And that data is as of 5 days ago. So, we're doing well. I think not the highest number I've seen. I think it's probably the second highest number I've seen. But definitely can't complain, especially considering that I was off for, 3 weeks? Yes. No, I understand that charging it off a car would take a long time. Um, but we have 3,000 watt inverters on our Jeeps. So at work. So if I had to, like if it was a local power outage and I could just bring a Jeep home and plug it in, I could have 3,000 watts of power, which would obviously charge this thing no problem. Yeah, mains power. I never liked the idea of mains power. It just sounds weird. I get it though, but I do not have an F-150 Lightning model. I saw it once at a at a local festival. They had an F-150 sitting out there. I'm pretty sure the sticker price was $99,736 or something like that. That was the discount price. Like, yeah, I'm not about to go buy a $100,000 truck. Um, Joe says he has an Ecoflow. Bob has one. Oh, that's right. Joe has Blue Yeti as well. Um, I'm curious, Joe, which one do you like better? Is there a benefit to one over the other? Um, are they the same? I'm just curious. Yeah, don't turn on your hair dryer. That's for sure. Yep, just 58 hours short. So hopefully we'll get there soon. Great for charging your house, bad for truck things. Well, I don't know about that, but I mean, I do like the F-150s. When I bought my recent car, I considered a truck for about 2 seconds until the dealer told me how much used trucks were going for, and I was like, no thanks. I can buy a car, and I can buy an SUV for a lot less. Um, so trucks to me are just they're way overpriced. I mean, I get that they're useful and powerful, but man, their price just seems not equal to what they should be. It's just my take. Joe says the Blue Yeti has a better handle. It folds up and down, but the EcoFlow seems better built and less Chinesium. I will say I was very impressed with the packaging of that thing, the look and feel of it. It definitely feels really solid. Um, Again, I bought it with my own money, so EcoFlow is not sponsoring this money in any way, shape, or not sponsoring the stream. They have no idea who I am. Chinesey. Yeah. All right, so Eric says, I still have not unboxed mine yet. Oh, yeah, so I do need to build a shelf, too. I need to get power outside so I can switch it over, and I need to put it on a shelf. Currently, it's sitting on a TV stand. Well, I mean, currently it's over here on the floor next to my feet, because that's what all the power is for this rack. But when it was over there by the sump pump, it was on a food table, and that's obviously not an ideal place to put it. Yeah, I mean, it depends on which one you get, because I used to work with a guy who had a F-150, and he showed me one time that his mileage was the same, was about a mile or two per gallon less than my car at the time, which I think was was it a Mazda 6? I think maybe it was a Mazda 6. Like, because I was getting like 22, 23, and I'm pretty sure his, gauge or, was saying 21. So, but I think he had that eco boost mode where like it turned off half the cylinders when it was on highway speed. Chinese alloy Chinesium. Ooh, unobtainium. That's my favorite one. I love unobtainium. Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine the F-150 Lightning did much towing, or any towing really. um, yeah, it's definitely a four-cylinder. I guess it really probably depends on what you're doing with it. I mean, this guy was driving highway uh, to and from, I think it was Pittsburgh or someplace in Pennsylvania. So I mean, he did a lot of highway driving. So I have never heard of that. What is that? So Joe says he has a Tacoma, or had a Tacoma. Uh, what'd you mod it? Did you raise it? Did you put, obviously you say you put bigger tires on it. Did you replace the intake and go big exhaust? I say I can't imagine you putting a big exhaust pipe on your truck. That would definitely that would change your gas mileage for sure. If you're driving all local versus highway speeds, and that engine can shut off half the cylinders. Think of as a banana with a bike inside. Okay, now I have to go look this up. Velocycle. Wow, that does look like a. That's weird. So let me show you this thing. Um, I doubt I fit in that. I don't think that's built for a tall person. Just a wild guess. That is that is definitely something. Oh, so you no engine stuff, only off road stuff. Well, and of course, Joe points out he had to put nerd stuff in his truck too. Just don't cut a hole in the roof for an antenna. That's I've heard that's a instant divorce or whatever. So I think he must live near Tony then, or I guess in that area. It gets a 10 for looks. I don't know about that. I don't know about that thing. Looks weird. I did see the Oscar Mayer Wiener vehicle like flipped over the other day. I'm not sure where that was, but there's one that looks more like your traditional car. I don't know. At this point, I'm thinking banana. That's what when I see that when I think that word from now on. I'm gonna think banana. Yeah, the trucks are definitely getting better. I for some reason don't think. Although I don't know, Joe probably does have a CB radio somewhere in case the apocalypse comes. Silverado has the biggest battery at 200 kilowatt hour. Wow. Oh no, Joe didn't put a CB radio in. He put a GMRS radio in it. I would love to see me. I would love to see that thing in person. That'd be hilarious. Um, there was near the lake we go to. There is actually a banana car. Wonder if I could find that picture. I wonder where if I could find that picture because it was hilarious. We laughed for a long time when we saw this car. Was it last year? It might have been last year. I'm not seeing it. All right, hold on. Thought because this is hilarious. It's like an actual banana car. Um, Looks just like you could imagine. Apparently, it was 2 years ago. If Haley was here, she'd tell me exactly what it was because her memory is like perfect. Or maybe we don't have a picture of it. Maybe we actually never took a picture of it. 'Cause maybe we just saw it and laughed about it. That's because I'm not finding it anywhere. But I will have to look it up because if I could find it, I'll share it. It was hilarious. Yeah. So anyway, let's see here. Chat is saying GMRS is used more often. Well, yeah, I don't think anybody actually uses CB other than truckers. 50 watts, is that even legal for that band? That seems like a lot. I'm not going to touch that subject. So what's the hab on 3CX? Okay, so yeah, let's oh, so Joe says 50 watts is the top limit. Okay. So yeah, so let's take a look at my other topic for tonight, and that's 3CX, which I have used in the past for VoIP. I don't really have a use case for it in this house, but I do like to, have that, play around with VoIP and try some things, and it comes in handy every once in a while, especially when I was setting up the phone system at the university, because they used 3CX, and so when I was converting the phone system for the radio station over to 3CX, instead of trying it with their system, I actually brought it home and tried it with my 3CX system, and that's when I got first introduced to 3CX. Well, if you haven't heard, I don't know how many of you actually use it, but you have to upgrade before August 1st, or you basically lose your 10 user license. And so basically you have 3 routes to upgrade. Upgrade your subscription to V20 before 1st of August, purchase an upgrade, or use their free hosting instance, which is up to 10 users. So I actually don't have a 3CX currently running in the house, but I was considering just installing it, upgrading it, and then basically, keep it active. But I'm kind of curious to know what you guys think. What do you guys use for VoIP? Do you use VoIP at your house, or do you just use the shared hosting? Do you use a provider? I know some of you, have a small business. I'm curious what you're using. Any other alternatives besides 3CX that is user friendly? I know there was free PBX, but that thing was convoluted, and I just could not figure it out. Obviously, I like Linux. I like open source, so I wanted to go that route. 3CX allows you to install it on Linux, and so there is a Linux VM, or if you will, you can install it on your Linux machine, and you used to be able to at least. So I'm curious to know what you people think about VoIP and 3CX, because I only have like 2 days to do this. Again, I don't have a whole lot of use cases for it here, but I do like to dabble with it occasionally. I do have one phone over there that I did have programmed up, and it was kind of my, it was kind of like a disaster recovery phone. My thought is if like the cell phone networks go down, then I could come here, grab the phone, and make a phone call on the internet, as opposed to relying on cell phones. That's never been a thing that I had to do, but, maybe it could be someday. So I'm just curious what you guys think. Would love some feedback. Oops. So Joe says he is currently using 3CX as well, but annoyed with the new licensing and how they rolled it out. Yeah, the communication is not great. In fact, when I I copied that from an email, and then PowerPoint actually pointed out that it had, it was missing commas and stuff. So they didn't even really proofread it apparently pretty well, because it just was underlining things that were wrong. So Joe has 4 SIM lines and upgraded to V20. So, okay. Like I said, it's kind of what I'm thinking about doing too, but I have to do it before Thursday. Toro says, I would rather run a raw asterisk box and put my own T1 card and POTS adapter in it. Yeah. I think they all run asterisks in the background. And I was just going to say the next thing until I realized that you already wrote it. Managing asterisks is going to be a pain in the butt. And I am not big on writing my own scripts. I can do some things, but man, I don't know. I don't like when companies give something for free and then decide to change the rules. Yeah, no, I agree. That's not something that I'm not big on either. Which is why I'm curious to know what else there is. Like I said, for my use case, I don't really need it, but just curious. Eric uses the VoIP provider of our cable company. Oh, I have an update on fiber. Let me get caught up in chat, and I will tell you all about fiber. Bob says he uses VoIP.ms, which I was using as I was using that as to get into the PBX, and then basically I basically had like a greeting system set up where basically if you called in and then you entered a code, the phone would ring. But then if you pushed one button, it would ring my cell phone. If you pushed a different button, it would ring, Haley's cell phone. Yeah, that's what most cell phone companies basically give you. Yeah, Asterisk is base level for every phone system. But yeah, I did install it once and I quickly was like, this thing's not good. I mean, I'm not gonna dig into VoIP like people, I'm sure some people do. I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna get into that woods or weeds. Joe says next move will probably be Grand Stream. Willie says now looking at him. Yeah, I mean Grand Stream makes a lot of things. Willie Howe is a huge fan of Grand Stream. I think Tony is now too, if I'm not mistaken. Tony's gonna probably watch this tomorrow. So Tony, comment down below if you like Grand Stream. I'm pretty sure you've done several things on Grand Stream. So I would be curious to know your thoughts. I don't really need, or I don't really want a hardware solution because I mean, most of the time it'd probably be just offline anyway because I would just turn it on when I wanted to try something. Obviously, we used to run our own phone system at work, but that changed years ago, and so I don't really have anything. And then, like I said, the university uses their 3CX system, and I have nothing to do with that. So, but yeah, the people who have GrandStream are pretty happy with it, from what I can tell. Oh, they offer a cloud solution. Okay, I did not know that. Interesting. No. Definitely no. They are offering various service platform or levels of service. So let me call up their speeds. So they are offering fiber 200 for $60 a month, which is 200 megabits. They're offering 500 megabits for $70 a month. They're offering 1 gig for $90 a month. Now I pay $85 a month for my current cable connection. And so for $5 more a month, I could get 1 gig fiber symmetrical. Or they offer 2 gig service for $120 a month. But that's not available in all areas. So I don't know what we're actually going to be getting. Either way, I'm probably going to go down to the 500 meg model, or plan, or go all the way down to the 200 meg plan, because we don't need a lot of download speed, but I really would love to have the upload speed. And so I think 200 symmetrical is going to be way better than what I'm paying now, which is burst up to 400 and then 10 meg with an upload speed. So yeah, so I mean, I'm probably just going to go with the cheap one. If I do want more speed, I can obviously pay $10 more a month and get a lot more speed. But I really don't. I don't know. I don't see us needing more than 200 megs down. I mean, I often laugh, and I've said this before on the channel, and I'm sure some of you guys are going to disagree, but we have a 1 gig internet connection at the station, and it's spread across 110 people, and we don't max it out. So I really do wonder, when people want like 1 or 2 gig at home, it's like, what are you really doing with it? Because, I mean, no offense to those who have it, but like, if 110 people don't max out a 1 gig connection, so that's why I'm thinking that we will be able to go down, in this house, can go down to 200 megs and be fine. That's a savings of $25 a month. And then they offer TV service, and their TV service is where's their freaking, and I can't find their, oh, there it is. So their TV package, the same exact channel list that we currently pay DirecTV for, we can get for $80 a month. So we can go from $127 to $80. And so we're going to be able to save a whole bunch of money by switching to this fiber company. And they are actively working in this town. They say it could be as short as 90 days until you can actually get it installed in your house. So super excited. I'm going to document that. We're going to have a party because it'll be awfully fun to have fiber service. And let me go check on the Ecoflow real quick. And that was really stupid because I completely forgot that I had the app. I don't know why I was thinking I had to go over there and check it. That was, yeah. So currently, we're currently sitting at 2 hours left, 195 watts and 62%. So we are, I mean, we still got plenty of life left on this thing. So far, the countdown is pretty accurate because, like I said, I switched it about an hour ago, and it said 3 hours, and so it's went from 100% to 60% in about an hour. So we're doing good there. Let me go back to. My phone is blowing up. I'm curious why it's blowing up. What am I missing? Okay. Yeah, yeah, okay. Someone actually messaged me about the fiber as I was sitting here. Stay away from, Spring Centro. Buffered here for a second. See, I just think the internet here is not very good. Ring Central is interesting. Cloud solution equals someone's recurring revenue. That is absolutely true. The upload speeds are symmetrical. Toro says that he avoids the cloud because of that. Yeah, I was surprised to see a 200 meg package. It's only $10 cheaper, but um, it's nice that they offer that because most people don't need. And yes, I'm saying most people don't need 500 or gig speeds. I'm just telling you right now, most people don't need it. I don't need that on my phone either. I hate when I do speed test and it's like, you have 200 megs per second. I'm like, it's a phone. What I would much rather it be is have 5 megs constant everywhere I go, because this damn thing is dropping calls everywhere. Like every day I'm dropping calls on this phone, and it's a Pixel 7. Don't get me started. I am, yeah. Taro says he wants to be future proof. Well, I mean, the future is always a moving target, though. Um, yeah, at church we have a 7515. We never max it. Yeah, I mean, um, Toro wants to run LAN parties out of my house. Toro says he'll drive down. Okay, maybe we'll have an outdoor party, I guess. Mark the time. Well, I mean that's what they say. I'm curious to know if that actually has happened. I have not seen a single fiber ran, but I know that they're in town working on things. That is true. People don't actually saturate their connections, so um, they're basically saying 1 gig, but then you hit it for like a split second, and then you go back to your regular speed. Um, I heard that this new ISP has at least two, if not three, 100 gig connections to the internet, is what I heard. Um, I don't know how true that is, but that was what someone told me, um, or what I heard, I should say. Um, that this particular ISP has two or three 100 gig connections to the internet. So I'm pretty sure my 200 meg connection is going to get out. My Steam library says I need 500 down. I mean, if you're downloading huge games, then yeah, I might see that. But how often, you know? And it's called a phone. That's true. I did not know that. Um, Hi, honey. Yeah, I actually I got to see when we got new ISPs at work. They did the horizontal boring. That is some interesting shit. Um, I was out there for several hours over the course of like 2 or 3 days, just kind of watching what they did, and they explained it to me, and it was very interesting process because it just it's funny that they can just push one from one end and you can find it based on yeah. I mean, it was. Um, I should edit those pictures and share them. That might be an interesting stream idea because, but I'd have to edit the pictures because there's logos and information all over him. But I could probably sanitize them and then maybe do a stream about that. That'd be interesting. It's buffering again. Interesting. Want a fun nerdy fact? We used to use an old math equation called Erlang's that determines capacity of phones on desk. It factored in average channels. Huh. I will have to look that up later. Yeah, I don't think this is. I mean, it could be cell phone related, but I mean, Haley's having issues. It just seems like everybody's been having the issues more and more. Um, the speeds are atrocious when you do speed test. Um, I got higher speeds in the middle of a small lake than I did on the shore of that lake. um, Jeremy says the only reason I got the 800 megabit per second speed is so I could get the higher upload speed. No fiber available when I switched to Communist Cast. You spelled Comcrap wrong. Yeah, I don't. I really don't. I mean, I'm not saying it can't be the Pixel, but I feel like this has got to be a bigger issue. Ernesto, welcome in. Earlings are very cool. Okay, I'm curious now. Earlings. Earlings. Is a dimensionless unit that is used in telephony as a measure of offered load or carried load on service providing elements such as telephone circuit. Huh. Interesting. Well, I guess if you guys want to read something tonight, you could go read this thing. um, as typical for Wikipedia, this gets in the weeds very, very, very fast. Interesting. I've never heard of that. Ever. People would always say they had 100 users, so they needed 100 simultaneous calls. Wrong, unless it's literally a call center where there's zero downtime. Yeah, actually, that makes sense because when we had our own PRI line, it was oh, what's a PRI line? 28 calls, 24. I think it's 24, or is it 23 plus a communications channel? I think it might be 23 plus a communications channel. So we initially had one PRI. Yeah, okay, so it's 23 plus, yeah. So we had one PRI, and then we expanded to two PRIs, and we rarely ever needed the second PRI, unless we were doing like a call-in thing. Like we're saying, call us now and, talk to whoever, or, fifth caller wins type of thing. We rarely ever went on the second PRI. And again, that was back then, we had probably 130 people in the building. Not all at the same time, but I mean, we had 130 employees, and we could get away with one PRI, maybe a second one on occasion. We would needed it. That being said, I do remember an event. I don't remember what the event actually was, but I remember a situation where we were just getting blasted with phone calls, and I opened up the Avaya app. That I forget what it's called. But I opened up the Avaya app on the phone system, and it was like, it would show the PRI lines, and it was like every line was full, and it would show the average call wait time, and it was like, at one point it was like 15 minutes, and I was like, you are not going to get to somebody if you're waiting 15 minutes and we still haven't got to you. Like, it's just not happening. So note to self: if you're ever going to call a TV station, just leave a voicemail, because people are rarely ever at their desk. So just leave a voicemail; it'll work a lot better. Yeah, Bob. So there's the math on on the T1 line. Yeah, PR was basically a T1 line. Actually, I think the interface even like says on the card like T1. Alrighty, well, my voice is starting to go, getting a little sore. I don't have anything else. Oh, I should probably check the. So we are currently at 1 hour, 50 minutes, and then it's 56% capacity. Hey, Rebecca's here. Oh yeah, viewer voicemails. They're something else. Speaking of them, I am trying to gather a collection of like a viewer mailbox where I could just go through and relay some stories that I have. Obviously, I'll remove names, I'll remove people, situation. I'll make them very generic, but I'm trying to figure out a way to present this viewer mailbox because I mean, you would not believe the phone calls people get or people, you know, do to us at the station, whether it's voicemails or if we get somebody on the line, how they treat people. It's hilarious. So I'm trying to work out a way where I can do a viewer mailbox session. It was actually one of the things that I was hoping to do as a members only stream, like my first ever members only stream. But I'm not there yet to have memberships, so I don't know if I'm going to wait till it is a membership only stream or how I'm going to do that yet. But I feel like that's definitely worth paying for because it's going to be a doozy. But all right, well, thank you all. I am actually going to try. I'm going to try the AC thing. We're just going to have fun with this. Let me clear out my notifications because I have a ton of them. Joe says, even when I moved about 4,000 user to SIP, I still kept one PRI as a failover. Yeah, that's a good point with the 911 calls. You definitely need all that stuff. Yes, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Please watch old streams. Helps the watch hours. So good night, everybody. I think we did manage to get 1 JAU exactly at this point. But I am going to try for the fun of the stream. I'm going to hit the AC off button on the River Pro and just see how it ends. So, good night, everybody.